In an age where every move we make leaves a digital fingerprint, one man seemingly walked off the face of the earth, right in front of a camera. His name was Steven Koecher, and the last time anyone saw him, he was captured on a static security camera in a quiet Nevada cul-de-sac. The footage is unsettling in its simplicity. A man, dressed for a day at the office, calmly parks his car, walks down the street, and then vanishes. The camera never saw him return. But what that silent lens didn't capture is where the real mystery begins. This wasn't just a man going for a stroll. This was the final stop on a secret, frantic 1,100-mile journey that had taken him across 3 states in just over a day. Why would a devout, church-going family man from St. George, Utah, suddenly embark on such a desperate, clandestine road trip, telling no one where he was going or why? To understand the journey, we have to understand the man. Steven Koecher was, by all accounts, a good person, an Eagle Scout, a returned missionary for his church, a loving son and brother. But beneath the surface, a quiet desperation was taking hold. He had recently lost his job doing marketing for a local newspaper and was struggling to find work. The financial pressure was immense. He was living out of his car, racking up credit card debt, and trying to maintain the appearance of stability to his family, who he loved deeply and didn't want to worry. He was drowning, and no one knew. The timeline of his final days is a frantic puzzle of strange movements and unanswered questions. On December 12, 2009, he left St. George and drove north to an old friend's house in Salt Lake City, a trip of several hundred miles. The next morning, December 13th, he was on the road again, this time heading south. He drove through his hometown of St. George without stopping, without calling his parents who lived there, and continued on, pushing deeper into the Nevada desert. His destination? The Sun City Anthem community in Henderson, a suburb of Las Vegas. An upscale retirement community. What was he doing there? No one knows. He had no friends, no family, no job prospects in that area. And that's where the camera saw him. At 11:55 a.m., his gray Chevy Cavalier pulls into the cul-de-sac. He parks, gets out, looks at something on a piece of paper in his hand, and walks confidently out of frame. He never returned to the car. What was on that paper? An address? A name? A set of instructions? The questions multiplied. Investigators found his abandoned car the next day. Inside, there were presents he'd bought for a family Christmas party he would never attend. But there was no sign of Steven. And, crucially, no sign of his cell phone. That phone would become the most perplexing and terrifying clue in the entire case. For most missing persons cases, a phone going silent is a grim sign. But Steven's phone didn't just die. After he vanished from that cul-de-sac, his phone began to move. In the hours following his disappearance, it pinged a cell tower near the Anthem area. Then, it went quiet. His frantic family, now aware he was missing, began calling his phone over and over, leaving desperate, pleading voicemails. "Steven, please call us. We love you. We're worried sick. Just let us know you're okay." These messages went straight to voicemail, each one a heartbreaking cry into the digital void. For 2 full days, there was silence. The family feared the worst. They imagined him lost in the vast, unforgiving desert, his phone's battery long dead. But then, something impossible happened. On December 15th, nearly 48 hours after he was last seen, Steven Koecher's phone sprang back to life. But it wasn't in Henderson anymore. It wasn't anywhere near the desert where he was last seen. The phone pinged a tower miles and miles away, in a completely different area of Las Vegas. And then, an hour later, it pinged again from yet another location. Think about that. The phone wasn't just turned on. It was being transported. It was moving. Steven's body has never been found. He carried no survival gear. The desert terrain around that cul-de-sac is harsh and unforgiving. The idea that he could have survived for 2 days and then traveled miles across the city, only to vanish again, defies all logic. This single, irrefutable piece of digital evidence points to a horrifying conclusion. Someone else had Steven's phone. Someone else turned it on. And someone else was carrying it. This transforms the case from a story of a man lost to his own despair into something far more sinister. It suggests a third party was involved. Was Steven meeting someone on that cul-de-sac? Was it a job interview that went horribly wrong? A deal that turned deadly? The theories are endless. Some suggest he was involved in something he shouldn't have been, a transaction connected to the economic desperation he was feeling. Could he have been a reluctant courier, a mule in a dangerous game, who was tragically eliminated when the deal was done? But the story of the phone adds another layer of pure, psychological cruelty. For those 48 hours of silence, his family filled his voicemail with love, fear, and hope. When that phone was turned back on, those messages were likely delivered. The person holding that phone, the person very likely responsible for Steven's disappearance, could have listened to every single one. Imagine that. The perpetrator, having already taken Steven's life, now silently monitoring the raw, unfiltered grief of the family he left behind. The phone wasn't just a piece of hardware. It became an instrument of torment. Steven's last digital breath, his final connection to the world, was twisted into a weapon, used to observe the pain his absence was causing. It's a final, brutal act of dominance and cruelty, a ghost in the machine watching a family's world collapse. To this day, Steven Koecher's case remains cold. His body has never been found. The digital ghost of his cell phone offers the last, most chilling clue, a faint signal from beyond the void. What do you think happened? Was this a tragic story of a man succumbing to pressure, or was he a victim of a calculated and ruthless act? Share your theories in the comments below. If you have any information, no matter how small it may seem, please contact the Henderson Police Department. And if you're ready for more true stories that explore the dark side of our modern world, subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's next. Thank you for watching.